I think that works, unless my phone is being gay.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I just joined here to listen in on the space here that Shane has started. He called it Aether Cosmology Flat Earth on Thursday night, but this is really just all of us, a group of us getting together to chill and hang out. Not really sure exactly what will happen here tonight, but yeah. There's a little small mini intro for you. May do a more formal one in a few minutes here, but yeah, there you go.
Thumbs up if it's not echoing. All right, nice. Thank you, chat. I still got my intro rolling, so we're chilling. Letting people get in here. There's Alan. That works, I think. Is is Toby staying on Ether Cause? Should I co-host Ether Cause? Alan, are you speaking? I can't hear you, man.
Yo, testing. Can you hear me, Shane?
Yes, but echo.
All right. Toby should have speaker and or co-host. Stone. And
There we go. So as usual, it's failing on the desktop, but seems to be working on the phone. So I can see Ken's up here. Toby doesn't have co-host.
You.
I had my volume turned down. I gotta rejoin. Back in a sec.
The echo.
Yo, Toby, did you get the co-host envy or nah? Probably not. Nope. Can you hear me, Toby?
I think he's got it now.
Thought we put somebody in charge of intro hype music.
Oh, did I turn off music? I don't remember.
Yo, testing.
Oh, the echo was me. I'm
Testing,
the asshole.
we hear
I'm
you.
sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Nice. Cool.
I'm the idiot. Okay. All right. So my thing is ready whenever you guys are ready, man. Oh, purple pill is there. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. We got Nest. All right. Ken's posting Graticule as the first post. I fucking love it.
You got everything set up, Shane, or are you still?
Yeah. Can you not hear me? Can you not hear me, Alan?
Sounds good. Alan, do you hear Shane?
Nope.
Oh boy.
Me neither. Actually, I saw him move his mic just a
Oh,
second.
Stone's not hearing you either, apparently. Wow.
I am real, guys. I do.
Oh,
exist.
Stone, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alan. but not Shane.
Oh,
That's weird.
damn.
But I can see him operating his mic, but I just can't hear him.
Yeah.
Toby, can you tell
Tell
Stone
Shane to
and
unmute on
Alan to
Discord,
go into
so I can hear
Discord?
him.
Please?
You guys both just said the same thing at the same time.
Nice.
But Stone, I don't know how.
everybody.
I don't know what Stone will or what Shane will do, but not being able to hear Stone.
Oh, we just throw him in the Discord channel too. I think, right?
I can hear Stone.
So
Oh,
Shane,
or Stone. I don't know what Stone
can
will
you
do
hear me?
about not being able to hear Stone.
Stone needs to come in Discord with us, and we're good.
There you go.
But I got a tune to start it off. If anybody's interested, it's in video form currently, about 50 meg or something like that. If you guys want to stream it out the backside, I could telegram it to somebody who's game.
Not able to share audio on here. It would only be viewable for the Streamlads.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a little
Go ahead.
tune
Can
called
you mute
Denial.
Discord, Alan? Thank
Yep,
you.
done.
Thank you. All right. Why is it always us? We start a space and it's like, here's 7 hurdles that no one else has that you have to deal with.
Should I telegram it to somebody?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I said send it.
One sec.
How are we going to do that to the people in the space?
Ooh, so those people are hard excluded from this from this part of the activity, and it'll just be for the people on YouTube.
Well, we can. Well, I'll put the stream up here then, and then we can just stream it so everyone can look at that.
There you go.
All right, that's on its way.
Is this a new song you made? Oh, Stone's not in here.
No, we got to get Stone on. Stone, can you join Discord? But stay on Twitter as
Sure.
well. Yeah,
And
because
stay
otherwise,
here?
yeah.
Okay.
Simultaneously.
Okay, one second.
Yep. Just join any voice channel and I'll pull you in.
I sent him a direct invite to this one too.
Oh, yeah, the old DI.
Ooh, we got a derp. That's probably a Glowbird, right?
Couldn't tell you.
Says this account is restricted.
Good to see my boy John Coffey down there. What's up? Give him a mic.
Okay, I'm in the main voice on Discord, but I don't see anybody else there.
All right.
There you go. Now you're here with us.
I have swooned you away to a secret channel, and then you can hear it in there. You can hear Shane in there.
And now only everyone can hear me. And this is how we work around.
Yeah, I can hear him now.
Nice.
That's
All right.
bizarre.
It happens every week.
Dude, but we're about to land on Mars or whatever, so it's all good.
Where we got for the video? Where'd that go?
I got a tune headed Alan's way. It's about 2/3 of the way there now.
Oh, right. Internet. It's like things take time. Yeah, I forget that. Everything's instant for me. Dude, we had a heck of a week, I think.
Yeah, you want to do a little recap while we're waiting for the intro video? What's been going on? We went pretty hard on the old Graticule this week.
Right? Yeah, we're trying to launch the platform from which to argue against maps now. We had a Ruhif event where he came and showed us 16 emergency landings that are retarded and don't prove flat Earth, it turns out. And when you wrap them properly with their great circle routes, that's either a toss-up or favors the globe, except for that one. That one was a definite route on the AE map, but
that one.
dude, the way that one route, the plane went directly on the AE route, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why it did that. And it's like, because the Earth's flat, dude. He's like, but then there was a landing, and they went back to the Great Circle route, and I was like, yeah. So I'm kind of thinking that once they have the flight data, they just backwards transcribe them to Great Circle routes, dude. How hard is that?
It's pretty easy to do. I don't. I mean, really.
So when I was looking at what Rue was presenting, with the great circles and whatnot, and I was remembering back on what Model Builder presented, and when you could zoom in on all those flight routes, you actually see that they're not great circling. They're essentially just hitting it looks like a grid formation, right? So whenever they intersect or cross, they're just hitting a reference point and then deviating to the next intersection point, and then just doing just kind of zigzagging essentially, or whenever they have to zig, to make a correction, it's all through these specific intersection points. It's not plane specific where they're oh, hey, we're gonna start changing our course correcting here or something. It's it's specific points. So it kind of tells me that it's super automated in that regard. And it's just, the autopilot system is just referencing GPS to tell it where it's at, and it just makes corrections accordingly. And it's not so much about the great circleness, right? The great circle might have been super prevalent back in the day or whatever. But when you look at the uncorrected data that Model Builder presented, it doesn't really reflect the same kind of transportation that they would like to, or the transportation route that they would like us to believe is necessary and mandatory.
Yeah, and plus that one that it's interrupted flight data, right? That's why we got that one. That one wasn't corrected, right? That's how we saw it. Oh, you went exactly on the flat Earth route, and then you had an actual emergency and stopped and veered back. So on that data, it didn't get retroactively corrected, right? It just shows that he went along the flat Earth route and then veered right towards the whatever the emergency stop was. So then it got me thinking, what if once they complete the route, there's just an automatic tidy process that's oh, let me calculate the meridian difference from where it was crossed, and here's where the actual data gets transcribed, and historically, here's where it went on the grad fuel.
Here's where it went on the old Grady. Yeah, essentially, that seems to be what they could do. And I remember there was that plane a couple years ago that went missing in the and on the news there. GPS is the most complete system ever. It tells everything where it's at. But when a plane has to disappear and you don't have a reason for it, it's oh, well, it doesn't work over water and we don't know. And it just kind of goes in and out. It's all right, dude. So they could literally do anything and show you anything after the fact. And the fact that they show you any discrepancies is very nice of them.
Yeah. So,
did you want to add something, Stone?
I think that was MH340 you were talking about. The one that just kind of had a
Sounds
few very,
familiar.
very conspicuous people on board. Then, oh, what do you know? It just kind of disappeared. Yeah, $1 million jet. No way to find it. That's interesting.
Dude, Stone, I feel like you're the perfect person to ask about this obscure thing, this niche subject. Is it possible, anytime they need something to go wrong, they're oh, well, that black box that is supposed to tell us everything about everything? We can't find it, or it didn't work. How does that even happen, dude?
Every time.
Well, I assume that's the air data box they're always talking about. And it's good at telling you how the plane crashed. Definitely not where. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
I mean, what would it have other than exterior data?
Well, there would be ambient data. Sure, there's pressure, there's temperature outside, that kind of thing. There's what your nav is doing relative to the vector that you're on. You're going to see a bit of that. But I don't know, man. I'd be really interested.
Did we lose Stone? It's just me.
Cut out.
Yeah, cut out for me too.
Okay.
Dang it.
Yeah, I bet I am too. I'm getting a circle on your transmission here too. So let me decomplicate. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How far did I get?
You got to, let's see. You were saying that it's not good at telling, how or why, where, but how rather.
Yeah. Lots of flight dynamic data, like what your wing trim is like, and you know what I mean, what your engines are wound up to, and how lean is your fuel, and where is your fuel distributed in the craft. I'm sure there's lots of that going on. But I'd be really interested in knowing how much GPS fixed data goes to the air data box in terms of even a time loop style of recording to keep your data pile small. That would be very interesting to see. But again, that's all on board after you find the craft.
Right.
And they assume most of the time that when the craft goes down, they assume it's over land most of the time, and there's this big smoke trail to follow. So, they're easy to find.
Just follow the smoke.
But it's all about the transponder for me, though. That's definitely outside the data box. That's a whole other function, a whole other module in your dashboard. The transponder is the thing that's you hitting the tower and constantly updating the tower in a very automated way, in a very coded way, what certain elements of your flight dynamic are, like your speed and that kind of thing, your direction. That's all going, not necessarily being received by radar hitting you, tracking your actual movement, but actual radar gear that's pulling that signal down and receiving what you're sending automatedly out the bottom of the craft, just sort of as a background process. That's the kind of stuff that gets to the controller screen radar readout, that kind of thing. That's what you're seeing when they do the sweep. It's not like uh, I don't know. There's going to be two, depending on the range, like how far away is that craft from the radar and what data they're relying on. But yes, a lot of it has to do with fairly current takes on transponders and all of the data that they send. But even then, um, again, no radar stations over the water, not really going to get a very accurate fix on that craft unless you have, some triangulation going on, which I don't think they spend money on typically for commercial flights. There's so many of them. Why would they track that? It's even half the guys that are also in the air with you, seeing if they've got eyes on you helping tower when you look at the communicational style over the water. Um,
Oh yeah, it's like
yeah,
a
very,
giant
very
relay.
interesting. Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, do you see that guy? You're 2 o'clock at 5,000 feet above you, and you confirm with tower that yes, there's a craft there, or no, there isn't a craft there, and that helps them figure out how close you are to where you should be as well, because they're also talking to that craft, of course. you know so it's really interesting that they just completely lost an aircraft that they couldn't see, the day that it happened, specifically, especially that day. Even 2 days after, there would just be this massive pollution spot on the water where everything that came out of this craft, assuming that it didn't land gracefully, there's going to be a pollution trail all over the surface of the water from everything that floated when it broke up, quote, hitting the water, doing God knows how many hundreds of miles an hour. How could they not see that? That's really the question. Just getting close with where they think the plane is, and then going to that location and doing methodical sweeps, half a mile wide by half mile this way or that way. 30 minutes later with 10 craft, you're done. You've scanned that whole area. You either found it or you didn't. It was either there or it wasn't. And I'm definitely getting the impression that it was never there, that it didn't hit the water or just disappear on that spot, that it just went dark. They just turned the transponder off and then go somewhere else with the
Just
plane.
went for a little cruise.
It's just a little kind of side journey, a little side trip. Yeah, very likely.
Some say they flew over the ice wall.
Well, this was a fairly equatorial scenario, so I don't know about that.
Dude, that's hilarious. Somebody did actually say that, and it's not even near the ice wall. That's great.
Is that from your chat?
No, that was just from memory.
as memory serves, this flight was fairly near Indonesia or of the like, that part of the world, and they're pretty equatorial.
Man, so yeah, dude, been a hell of a week for the graticule, as we were saying. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been battling all week about these people who are just like, yeah, but longitude, okay, but does it converge? Okay, but 69 miles, it's a sphere. Is it linear? And then like every step of the way, and it's just like, yeah, but you know how Piper complained that I sent him a video of me speaking in my voice and directly answering his question, and then he quoted server rules like, you must be able to summarize the point, and it's like, if it's my video and you don't watch it, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I don't have the patience to explain to a dumb glober 7 times the same thing, especially when I put time into like crafting a video to like under 2 minutes explain that exact point. So I don't know. Maybe am I crazy, guys, or what?
I see it as a blatant show of disrespect, and yeah, I would refer everybody back to Friday night for equal displays of that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like literally if you've been talking for 2 hours and you can't regurgitate, like if you can't like name a single thing that I've said, let alone refine my point or even, God forbid, steel man it, right? If you can't repeat a single thing I've said over 2 hours, you haven't listened to a single thing. There's no way around that, right? You've just been patiently waiting to speak or waiting to say the next thing or doing the globe thing where it's like, I don't have to listen because what you say doesn't matter because I'm still in the majority. So no, and that's what you see.
A la social.
Yep. And then that dude Piper is good for one. Like, let me ask the same question 11 times, and even though you answered it 11 different ways with different forms of media, in audio and visual, with memes and infographics and text and a simile, I'm just gonna go from here and say that no one can answer my question.
Well, that's what they do. That's all they're ever gonna do. So, I mean, it's never surprising to me at this point.
It still is to me. I guess that means I'm retarded, huh? Shit.
Dude, yeah, I kind of feel like we're retarded because I still get a little surprised. I'm like, dang, for real? The 10th, the 15th time?
Like I shouldn't.
17 times the charm.
Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. You're right, but I still am, and that's on me.
So yeah, if anyone wants to request a mic or ask any questions or anything like that, you guys are all free to request mics. This is a community event for the boys as well.
Alien Light. You must be new, but welcome, dude. I can't really tell. Wait, no, I can tell. He's a speaker. Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, are we lining up?
Dude, we got Alien Light and we got Xavier about to come up. So
Cool.
Did Alien Light just dip and say, oh my god, am I on stage? I'm out of here.
phoned home or whatever the aliens do.
Nah, I probably just got Elon'd.
Like, if you didn't want to speak, you didn't have to accept. It's like, oh, I'm on stage. It's like, yeah, that's what accept the mic to speak means. You get. You should get facing reality up here. What's up, man? He'll just talk.
Absolutely. Dude, we got Zave and I are gonna do a duet on Friday.
He's gonna sing a comfort song about relativity, or
Yeah, like acapella. What's
no,
up,
we're gonna
man?
sing Many Men by 50 Cents.
All right, how much money do we need to pay Xavier to actually do that, though? Xavier, what do you think?
Oh, I mean, dude, he's doing it on the
pro
free.
bono, bro. Pro bono.
Love it.
Is this a union gig?
He's paying us.
Yeah,
Delightful.
Stone may or may not play a little part in it. We need someone to do like the instrumental stuff. Stone's obviously busy, but he did say he could be the gunshot. So
Yeah, let me line that up.
if you could just send us a recording of you firing off 9 to 10 rounds. How many times was you shot?
Who?
Fofty.
9 times.
Trumpy, there were a total of 11 rounds fired there, including that triple that took the shooter out.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
50 Cent.
Oh, I'm not tight with that. I'm not sure.
When he got shot.
Oh, like 9 or 11 times.
Yeah.
Did Fitty get shot? Holy shit! When was
He got
that?
smoked in like the 90s.
11 times. Yeah.
Oh, okay, a long time ago. I thought you meant like recently.
Yeah, no. This was a hot minute ago.
Wouldn't on the club, no broke down, motorhead bed, going to go,
Dang, that's spot on. Nice job.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yo, where'd Stone go? It's last 50 here.
That guy's a trip.
Did you guys ever see there was his like business manager or something owed him money, and he was like low-key threatening him or something, and the text messages that his business manager sent back, he was like, Fofty, please. He called him Fofty. See if I can find it. That's not important. But yeah, Fofty. Hilarious.
That's the fastest way to get your ass kicked.
Like, Fofty, please. Be reasonable, Fofty.
Dude, I wonder if hey, have you guys caught any hate from the flat earthers being like, actually, we caught a little bit of hate, right, from our boy Mike Jones, who was like, you're just gonna let Ruhif beg the question 100 times. We're like, well, kind of, but did anyone catch any other flat earth heat for that event?
No. Somebody stopped by the comments and asked, why we did that, and I said that it was to explain the use of the graticule and the misunderstanding of distances on different projections, and he was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, awesome. So I mean, I guess none.
Nice. Yeah, I guess it was just Mike Jones who was just like, you can't let him beg the question, and it's like, well, we can and we want him to, so like it's kind of the point.
Exactly. What to expose?
Some questions need begged.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
but,
I don't know if they say that, but
I know on Twitter people were like, "Oh, that was Ruhif did a great job defending the globe." I think Zethetic said that. It was like, yeah, we all agreed too. He did a great job, because I think Swahala was like, "Oh, Ruhif scorched you guys," and it was like, "Oh, bro, did you watch it or?"
Somebody was not paying attention.
watching it with his globe glasses on, dude.
Dude, he was just like, "Oh, is there a thing? Roof was there? Yeah, he wins." It's like, it wasn't that kind of a thing, bro. You can obviously, you just surface level heard a rumor and tried to input.
He's a rumor, dude.
It's like, yeah, I heard that this went down, and it's like, no, it's not like. I guess it doesn't sound good if you're like, no, we won one, man.
Score was 1-9. Dog.
No, we'd already forsaken all of those, so one was a bonus we didn't expect to get.
Yeah, one was news to me, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we knew all those were not good globe arguments. We've already been over all of them, because if you don't do a good job steel manning the globe, your argument is kind of worthless, and that sucks if you make a really good argument, right? Because you just based it on nothing, and now it's effectively neutralized.
You got that neutrally buoyant argument.
It's like, that's why we spend so much time steel manning the globe, and that's why we do it so hard. Like when it did Tide, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna need 273 slides to show you tides. And it's like, because no one will steel man it harder than that, right? It's not gonna be a glober who's gonna have one. It's like, well, you didn't do this. Like, no. Or even satellites, right? To understand how useful they are to us, you have to go into relativity, reference frames, coordinate systems, transforms, the speed of light. You got to read some papers. You got to read about the Sagnac effect. You got to read up on meridian corrections. And then you're like, holy shit, is that retarded? But it's a lot of context.
And Doppler.
right?
Oh, very important, dude. I heard a really good argument the other day. It was like, it's just like for how simple it was, but it was, how relativity says all inertial frames are equally valid. Well, you can show with Doppler shift that that's not the case. Like even if
Totally.
you're like, no, speed, same, whatever. It's like, dude, but you could still define it from the measurement with the Doppler shift because it's apparent relative to the observer dog. It's literally like, I can't believe they had the gall to say that to us for all these years,
Yeah.
dude. It's
I mean,
actually
it's
insane.
it's still the exact same directly applicable like phenomenon, math, like effect, like everything about it. It's just like, the causal mechanism is still clear as day no matter how you slice it.
Even as I came to understand just the basic premise of relativity, it took me right back to the thought experiment that everybody was hot for in high school. Okay, so you're in this supercar and it's a really fast car, right? And it goes the speed of light, right? Okay, and there's lights on the front, dude. Do they work? Okay. Okay, so let's say the car's coming at you and it's like 5 light minutes away, right? And it's doing the speed of light
Do you
and
see
its lights are on. Can you tell?
Oh, dude.
It's like, no, wait a minute, dude. I mean, like, I spent like 5 seconds thinking about that shit before I'm like, no, nothing comes out the front because it's already doing the speed of light. Light goes the speed of light. It's going the speed of light. You're not going to see anything until it's right in your fucking face, lights on, as it goes past you, Star Trek style. You're not going to see it with its lights on until it's coming past you because it's happening at the same. I mean, Einstein's the guy who's going, "Oh no, that's incorrect. We have the relativity with any frame is valid, so C is always C. C is always C. That means so because the car is going C, then light must be going twice C."
Dude, there's a little relativistic.
It's like, are you retarded?
There's a little relativistic correction you could apply to make sure that relativistic velocity addition never exceeds c. It was the craziest thing ever. It was just like, oh, you just threw that in there to just like, it's not derivable from anything. It's just, how you would reduce it mathematically to zero out anything that exceeds it so that it would never add to the speed. And it's just like, oh, cool.
Totally.
You can just do that for free.
Somebody had to give Einstein the old heads up there that this is not the same as when you're standing on a train and the train's doing 40 miles an hour and you throw the ball 40 miles an hour so the ball's doing 80. It's, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
There might be a slight parallel there, guy.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's a pretty funny, simple example of how your belief is retarded, though.
Dude, he smoked his own math.
In a math pipe.
Yo, is that Rolando that just hopped in? That dude's been backing me up on tweets for 3 weeks. I'll just post a tweet and then I'll read Rolando for 400 tweets.
Dude. Yeah. If Rolando's on the case, you could let him take the wheel.
He just destroys and he has the patience of a saint. And he'll destroy consistently for 3 hours, and I'm just hats off, bro. I gave up on that guy the very first tweet, and here you are, still pounding him into the sand like bars are beating Barrio, See if we can get Rolando to speak. Come be vocal, man.
Dude, we have to socially shame him like we did with Gleam. All right, boys, the show is now paused until Rolando comes up here.
Most people just leave. That only worked with Gleam for very specific circumstances.
So is anybody else noticing that icosahedron here, this guy,
Never.
Zero Burr W, is constantly changing his avatar from one to the other? Is that the equivalent of holding up your hand or something?
I have no idea.
Keep slipping them back.
I'm gonna send him a microphone and see
Yeah,
what's on.
see what happens.
I didn't know he was changing or who he is. But he's pinned ADL.play, so I don't know, man.
Mystery.
Seems
He
like a
pinned the
good
one. He pinned the good one. He's aces in my book.
Yeah. Seems pretty good.
Imagine going to ADL, the bad one, and pinning that.
I love how the good one and the bad one is a real distinction now on Twitter, even, and that we also own the bad one and the good one. So if you're looking for ADL, you get us. Sorry, guys.
Well, yeah, like one was founded to make sure that a pedophile never gets murdered, and then the other one isn't that.
One of it's founded to spread that and make fun of that. So
Yeah.
it's different. Well, anyway, if the lender doesn't come up, I want you to know I appreciate you, man. You're a legend.
Yeah, same. I see you out there on the streets.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
Orlando keeps busy, that's for sure. What up, man?
You guys all noticed his escapades then, not just me. Excellent.
Dog, when you get 30 notifications and it's not from an anti-FE, you got to take a second to be like, what the heck is going on here?
Yep.
And then you read it and you're like, oh, this is the most reasonable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Or like when you get a notification, you're like, who the hell are you responding to? And everything that he says is muted and blocked. And I'm like, dude, who are you arguing with? No, never mind. You're doing great. Like, I know that you're doing
great. Like, who are you? I don't care. You're doing great.
It's like, I know that I hate them, so it's fine.
Go get it.
That's the exact thought process.
Dude, but you know what, though?
You scroll up because you want to know, and then you're just like, I don't care.
But I can recreate the conversation just from his side, so I don't really need to, you know? Like, I know what's going said. I know what he's battling against, and he's destroying. They just say the same nonsense stuff. Oh, who is he decking on? Who's that stupid physicist that we all Franco? Who's Franco's buddy? Who's an equal douchebag? Giovanni.
Yeah.
Giovanni. Orlando was smashing that dude like for 7 hours straight about like his thesis, his PhD, his credentials, every which way, electrical field theory, fields in general. I think every single aspect of his knowledge was just superior to this dude. You know, it's like, Rolando, who are you? Like, where did you come from?
Dude, he's that Twitter Honda.
Right? Schooling Franco. Sorry, we all love to school Franco. I like how the Globers are like, oh, but he's a physicist. It's like, yeah, but did you hear the retarded shit that he said? Did you hear him try to defend virtual photons? No?
Or Earth frame?
Oh, Rolando says he doesn't have a microphone. Thank you, Kat. But
try some smoke signals or something.
But he also said he's sending me a message through the ether. Hold on one second, guys.
Telepathy coming in.
He said much appreciated for the compliments and much respect, and he loves fucking owning nerds on Twitter.
I heard that too. Much respect.
Okay, well then he should supply a mailing address, and someone needs to send him a mic.
I got 2 on my desk. You need an extra one, bro?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Like, I think if you go outside, you can find a microphone in the parking lot of Walmart.
I bet you my dog could find it on the side of the road. Oh, wait, no, that's just chicken bones, and he finds them everywhere. It's just me.
And he still uses them to communicate via IP, though. A lot of people don't know this, but chicken bones are great conductors of information.
Dude, what I don't get is I live in a city, and how are there fucking chicken bones everywhere? Like, there's no, it's pavement, guys. My dog, people just throw chicken bones. I don't know. Not a topic for the space, but it's perplexing to me.
You don't walk around just eating a wing and then you just like throw it out.
Dude, it's like everybody in the world does that. That it would have to be the case that the whole city does that everywhere. It's like, what the hell? We got Dave down there in the chat. What's up, Dave? Do you want to argue some flight can't be possible on a globe argument?
Got some new lyrics?
What's that one dude named Coriolis? You probably love him. I think I blocked him.
Yeah, what up with that guy? Yeah, I saw a tweet or two you made about him, or to him, I guess. It's like, what are you talking about? We did this how many times, and you don't know what the hell I'm saying? He says, I don't know what you're saying. Just answer my question.
Yep. Like, Dude, I like so the logic of that is I don't have to listen to what you're saying to know that you're wrong. Okay, stay with me here. How do you know that it's wrong? It's like, oh, you revealed
No,
your
that doesn't.
position as an ignorant
That
fuckwit. You're
doesn't.
just like,
Yeah, that doesn't check out. It just turns out you're actually inherently wrong.
yeah. It doesn't matter what you say. It's you're still wrong. So there, I don't even have to listen. That's how it works, right? You're a flirt.
Hashtag Tyson told me.
Dude, when you realize that someone that you're arguing with like thinks that, you're like, oh, I've been wasting my time. I see that now. Wow, my bad.
Yo, man the fort for a second. You got a AFK for a minute.
Yep. Hey Xavier, how's your OBS spot going?
It's tedious right now. Just whenever I say, all right, that's enough. So I find another site with some other cool little bells and whistles and say, all right, maybe not yet. let's just get some more some transitions. It's coming along nice though.
Have you tried it at all? Or are you just still researching mode?
Yeah, I got a burner that I tested on. When I
Nice.
find some things are not aligned, I'll just delete and try again.
Nice. Can't wait to see your super spaces. Also, did you do one on Sunday and I missed it? Because I want to go to a Xavier space. I need to learn my logic from you.
No doubt, bro. No, I haven't done it yet. I'm just trying to get this down. I'll definitely send you a DM.
Cool.
Dude, the logic spaces are much needed, man. I was re-listening to the beginning of Bennett's presentation he did for the alpha Hildegrand model, and like just the beginning of that, like the philosophy and going over it, and like having that structure and that logical, cohesive, way to interpret everything is just invaluable, man.
Yeah, that was a fantastic breakdown he did.
Yeah, when you see it, you realize its absence has been critical. And you're like, oh.
Dude, so like it's like there's this thing missing. What is it? And then you just hear him talk about it. You're like, oh, it's that.
Logical cohesion. Oh, I knew
Yes.
it. Like most of us like inherently recognize when it's illogical. That's what Whitted said before he even knew like what fallacies were by name or classification. He would just knew it was inherently illogical. And I think most of us have that, but not to that degree. Like we know enough to not make fallacious arguments ourselves, I think inherently, but not inherently enough to call out fallacies when being used, I think. Well, now we do, but like I didn't at first at all, right? It's like, yeah, you can reify all day. I'll let you because I don't know what that word means.
Yeah, dude, calling it in real time is a whole different skill set. Like after the fact, you can analyze and go, oh yeah, it stems from this fallacy, that fallacy. But yeah, doing it in real time is a whole different skill set. And then constructing arguments yourself just so that you're not fallacious in the way that you're presenting your idea it's such a great skill because it's like me and my buddy used to play a game regarding Jewish mysticism, and it was called Find the Lie. And like we could never find the lie, right? Because it was what was being said was true. And it's like it's one of those games where it's like, find the lie in what I'm saying, and it's like, okay, GPS, well, I found it. Well, it's not, one of those things where it's just you try and give someone a road that they can look back on and go, okay, well, they got there from here, and this is why they think that way, and it's not like it's not disconnected or leaps of logic and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Definitely feel like I got forced to be primed with a lot of it in 2020. Like I was really forced to look at like where logic was being employed and what was being preached to me. It started to matter. It started to matter to me a lot more in 2020. I'll put it that way.
I think that was common sense for me. Maybe I didn't use logic in that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Because it was like, the people who profit from sickness say that we're all sick and need to buy their cure. My common sense.
There's that. But then there's also, how are these people that could never possibly have more information than me telling me, asserting to me confidently that it's safe and effective? Is like, wow, okay, they're just saying it. They don't know it, and they're just saying it. And seeing so many people just say it was really like, just employing simple logic. It's like, oh, it's because they just say anything.
Yeah. It's tricky though, because they lied through their teeth. So it was like discernment to its extreme. Like, do you believe the government? It's like, hell no. Well, you'll be fine. Do you believe the government? It's like, yeah. Well, they said they tested it and it's safe for pregnant ladies. Oh, you're gonna have a bad time, you know. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't test it on anyone, but it's safe for pregnant ladies. Okay, let's walk through that logic though.
I knew the jig was up when they went to Fauci and publicly videoed and broadcasted him getting the jab. And then hours later, he's being interviewed on some other show, probably CNN or some jack shit like that. And they said, "Oh, yeah, how did it go, Fauci?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, fine." And he rubs his other shoulder. I have a video of that up on
I
Twitch.
didn't
Called
notice that one.
Charlatan. Oh, yeah, man. No, it's very
I
revealing.
mean, we know they're not injecting themselves with poison, but like a plunge needle that recedes, I thought that wasn't too much to ask, right? He's like, I forgot which arm I faked it in.
Oh, it's just brutal.
Yeah, so that was a good logic test, I think. That was the good first principle test of pattern recognition, critical analysis, thinking for yourself. It's like, oh, the first page of Google says vaccines are safe and effective, but everything else says that they're deadly and killing people, and that autism is present. It's like,
There's also like when you're going against what the mainstream is saying, it's like you have no other choice other than to just like try and find as much logic as you can to convince somebody, right? Like okay, they may have said all that stuff, but then why is Pfizer having these, Central American countries put up entire military bases as collateral in case of it, like, in case things go poorly with the vaccine? Like, why would they do that if it was so safe and effective? Just like simple logic questions. Like you have the, yeah, I had to start thinking a little bit differently around then. And definitely prepared me a little bit for these discussions about ether and flat Earth and such.
Dude,
I think there's a lot of parallels too with people who are scrutinizing the jab and flat Earth. I think they don't even realize, the people who do reject the mainstream narrative around the vax, that they're kind of doing the same thing when they're not listening to flat Earth. They believe in models. They believe in while they reject the viral model. Right. I used to just take it as a given that viruses exist until somebody challenged me on that, and I said, I don't know how we found out that viruses exist. What is this exosome theory you got? I mean, I'm not saying that they do or they don't, but just challenging the basic axioms that we take as a given. It's not an axiom after all. I don't know how viruses were proven to exist. So,
right? And then you find out, like, oh, well, they think that things are contagious, and they tested this theory by smearing mutagen and snot and everything they could from people to people who were sick, and they could never actually infect a person. And you were like, whoa, that's weird, but I thought that's how you get sick, and that's why you can't, and that's why you have to wear a surgeon's mask. And it's like, no, that never works. And it's like, oh, wait, what? Then how does health work? How do we get sick?
but all the kids at the daycare are sick, and now my kid's sick.
Right. Yep. Yep. There's definitely logic there, right? People need to employ logic, but I definitely didn't do it for flat Earth, man, until I saw Witsit doing like logical reports, and like analyzing, and like in real time. And he's like, "Oh, he said reify. What does that mean?" And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, crap! I should have been saying that to everyone."
Yeah, dude, reify was an eye opener. When I realized that was a thing that was happening, I was like, oh, you can't just do that.
It's like the globe is built on that. It's like we made this fake thing, and then we invented this other fake thing to substantiate the first fake thing. Guess what we did to substantiate the second fake thing? New fake thing. That's right. And off we go. Fake things upon fake things, all supporting each other until we have these mutually exclusive claws, like when our fake asteroids wipe out the fake dinosaurs and they self-mutually eviscerate each other, and there's no evidence. That's how you know it's true.
Dude, there was a little piece of an asteroid left that hit the Earth. That was, it was ginormous, right? And a dinosaur ran into it full speed to finish breaking it apart.
Yeah, but it's so hard to turn to dust.
Yeah, it annihilated its whole race doing that, but it also killed that meteor that killed everyone else.
And then at the end, when he was done with that little part, it actually fell right in the center and then disintegrated because there's no trace of him anywhere, and that's how we know it's true as well.
Yeah. History. And you know how we know that's true, though? Real talk, though? You want to know some real shit? You want to know how all that's backed up? Sediment layers in the ocean.
It's like, what can we point to that's obscure that normal people will never be able to get to that we can hang this whole thing on?
Every time there's a, where's your model? I think of Toby's geomagnetism presentation, where it was like, these people have a whole religion built on sediment layers in the sea changing their magnetic orientation. And they're like, oh, look, it must have flipped. Oh, it flipped again. Oh, we can actually predict the flip. We're the flip predictors. And then they're 750,000 years off of their flip predict. It's like, what?
That just means we're way overdue for
you want me to replace your model, bro? Oh, hold my beer. Is the threshold just shit under the sea and I make up a story about it? One sec, dog. I got you. I didn't know we could just make things up.
Dude, the importance of learning to reify. It's like they've been reifying all day. We didn't know that. It's like we make up other fake things, then this actually support. Okay, well, a photon makes up the electron, and the electron supports the particles. Actually, particles actually support relativity, and that's how ether. And then that's gravity, and you're like, whoa, hold on now.
Hey, don't forget about the positron.
Oh, how many fake particles are there, man? How many particles do you need to fake to create one fake force? Or to justify one fake force? What's up, Cage? Good to see you, man.
What's up, dogs? How you doing?
What up?
Hey.
Chilling. Saw you guys. I was all like, let's go see what they're going to talk about today. See if we can't learn something. Whatevs.
What's your favorite sediment level orientation?
What is my favorite? I don't even know how to respond to that.
My favorite is when it's aligning east-west.
When you have to back up.
Nice. Dude, that's pretty.
I like them kind of north-southy, because then, they all look stripy and stuff in the diagrams.
Yeah, stripy is conducive to super electromagnetic dynamo model that totally works.
Then, you know what? We can't even simulate it because the Earth would be the core would be spinning too fast. But just trust us. It's the biggest just trust us, bro, ever.
And the gall on the people from the globe who are like, "Where's your model?" And it's like, hold on, though, you don't have any single cohesive model for any of the phenomenon, right? You think you do because you haven't looked, but you have many different models that definitely don't cohesively work. And what do they make fun of us with? Even if a flat earther explains something, it doesn't work cohesively with the rest of the model. And it's like, no, false. Couldn't be further from the truth. Our stuff is cohesive, collectively, and logic. Your stuff is ad lib, and all disconnected. You have 9 separate theories for the phenomenon that we're explaining in a cohesive, integrated explanation. But whatever.
I have yet to see one actually produce a model of what they think they believe in.
No, you get answers like, come on, man, Google Earth. Yep. It works, man. It works. Google Earth. It's right there. Look at it. It's round.
Look at that graticule.
Or my favorite, a picture of a dude holding up his phone and no text. Like, idiot. Like, okay. You got me. That's the globe model.
Where's your... Dude, that's what you should do next time someone asks for your model. Just take a picture of yourself holding the phone up.
It's like, we can't do that. How do we let you guys get away with that shit? Cage, you got a fan on? You chilling?
I do have a fan on. Can you hear my fan? It's like 10 feet away from me. You can hear my fan?
Can you hear my fan?
We can also ascertain that it's on the medium setting.
Damn, it is on number 2, man. On number 3, it's really loud. On number 1, I don't get enough air pushes. I had to go with had to suck on number 2.
Yeah, we could tell.
It is super humid where I'm at, dude. It's like 90% humidity, so it's literally hell. If I believed in that. How are you guys on your eternal damnation and punishment from the all-loving creator? How does that work for you guys?
Well, I
You guys
got
believe in hell?
7 with 21% humidity. I mean,
Nah, sounds gay.
that's
No, I mean going to hell, not the other thing. Not what you were saying. You're cool, bro. You're cool. Going to hell is gay,
The
though.
temperature's not gay. It's fine. Only hell's gay.
super gay. It's got the devil in it.
I remember hearing that story. They were like, so there's like all-loving God, right? And he has kids. You're his children. He loves you. And when you do one wrong thing, he puts you in a closet and punishes you for all eternity and never lets you out. You know, that's not how I would raise my kids. So, like...
But he loves
he loves you, but he's eternal torment.
That kind of stuff is what kept me from, like, you know, I wasn't like a, you know, like I didn't hate God or anything like that, but I was like, I could never like put myself in that position or whatever to like understand that connection aspect of it, because it was always presented through this lens of like, oh, but you're going to go to hell though if you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I just want you to believe because I'm concerned for your soul. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that whole thing turned me
You
right
just
off.
worry about you just worry about other people for fun. You just wander around all day worrying about other people. Like, what the fuck? That's like that could I couldn't. That was like I just fully rejected that. And then, you know, I was like, yeah, Jupiter's gas anyway, and we live in a Goldilocks zone. So I mean, you know, God's cool, but maybe he should have put us in like a permanent zone instead of a Goldilocks zone that's temporary. That seems retarded. Like, you know, like I was totally wrapped up in science and shit, and I just didn't have that connection.
Yeah, no, I get it. And people are like, "Oh, you have to do this, or you'll be punished for eternal torment." And it's like, nah, you should do it because it's good. Did you not read? Like, I feel like you maybe have misinterpreted the point of the lesson we're supposed to learn. It's like, do it or you die. It's like, no. Do it because it's right, guys. It's not hard.
Yeah, when I was an atheist, I used to say that. I used to be like, you're not really doing it for the sake of doing the right thing. You're doing it to avoid infinite punishment, or you're trying to get reward into heaven. So, are you really just not a douchebag that's doing it to avoid punishment or to get reward? The atheist doesn't think that any of that stuff exists. So, if I screw up, my neighbor's gonna have a bad day, and he might throw that bad day back onto me. It was always this mutual agreement type of thing. So that kind of stuff did fool me to think that religious folks were just kooky and they had it all wrong. So, yeah.
So, is there a limit to how many parking tickets you can have and still get in heaven?
Dude, I don't know if you guys.
And then, like, is there like degrees to it? Like, if you get X amount of parking tickets, is that a felony? Or,
you know, but I'm not paying them all. Fuck it.
Dude, I don't know if you guys ever saw The Good Place as a show, but it is really funny and is not a bad show. And it literally is built around the point system on people getting into heaven, right?
Yeah, that was a good series. That was Ted Danson and the gang there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing
I've never seen
the
it.
whole joke is like nobody gets into heaven, right? Except everyone's in hell because the point system is so skewed that nobody ever accrues enough points to actually get into heaven because everybody fucking sucks. And the whole gag, it's like the whole system is like that. And then like the show goes on, I won't give it away. But like that principle is kind of what we're talking about here. It's like, ooh, if I get enough points by saving non-Christians and Muslims, then I get to go to heaven. And it's like, dude, no, you've been coerced into a form of psychological control via the form of religion, which someone has weaponized spirituality. You got to wake up.
Man, I was totally down with that Goldilocks zone, man. Thinking, man, we are just. I mean, totally had to believe in God for this, but He put us in just a perfect system here and dodging asteroids, except for the dinosaurs, man. They had to go, man, because we can't live with those. Can you imagine if a dinosaur was walking down the street? That would suck. They had to go, man. So we needed that one rock. But I was all like, man, he was doing good with all that other stuff, man.
Hey, Cage, how does a T-Rex get up if it falls down?
Man, you see, it's got that tail right there, and what it does is it kind of It kind of slides it in between its legs there, and just little. It does a little. It's got a little. It does a little flippy thing, man. It actually.
Hey, waggled his
Dude, how did
wing.
he know that
It starts
exactly?
doing the worm.
Did he watch the video too? He didn't even watch the video. How do you know that, guys? He described it verbatim.
He intuitively worked it out that it would be the only possible way, regardless of how ridiculous it sounds, and fully leaned into it, as did the mainstream scientists.
Oh yeah.
I think if you listen to enough Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk, you kind of just start to get an intuition for these things.
Of course, the tail would be the leverage to get him up.
Yo, speaking of Neil deGrasse Tyson's Star Talk,
I'm a
I heard
builder.
Nicolas Cage subscribed to him, like
Never.
premium.
Never. I'll move the world.
Wait, what? We have to all defriend Nick Cage. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's a premium member on Star Talk Radio. I saw him talking in chat to Neil deGrasse Tyson and the other guy.
He's the
that
highest
co-hosts that
level Patreon subscriber of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
comedian. Dude,
Wow.
he's a tier 1 sub, dog. $25 a month to your boy.
Somebody really say they got to use their tail to get up?
No, we watched the whole video because we asked the question and we all like kind of laughed, and the actual explanation is exactly what you said, except we watched the neat little animation where the dude explained that of course it can't use its tiny little hands, but it does have a giant tail, and of course its center of gravity functions like a berry center or whatever for its center of mass, and when it's laying on the ground it just pops its tail off and off it goes, you know.
There's a Lagrange point between the dinosaur.
Punch point.
No, his head only weighs about as much as a pickup truck. He could just stand right up.
He's not top heavy at all. Yeah.
The head's actually kind of got away a little bit because it's got to use it's got to be able to flip, man. So it's got to use that. It's got to get that counterbalance going on there to help it get the full somersault. It's got to do a somersault. It's got to do a spin. That's what it's got. It can't just pop up, man, because then it break off its tail, man. It's got to do it a little spinny, like a Sonic the Hedgehog style. You're going in a circle.
It's pretty good. You got like a real mainstream scientist imagination on you, don't you?
Dude, you asked me that, and that's exactly what I was like. How the hell would this motherfucker get up? He'd have to
Wait,
legs.
didn't they figure out that they all have feathers now or something like that? They got to redo Jurassic Park with feathers.
Whole birds of dinosaurs or something.
So all these giant things that were killing everybody evolved into little tiny tasty treats. Huh?
we have chicken farms.
And then the earth just turned into like tasty seasoning to put on the tasty treats.
Telling you.
Come on.
So wait, were you joking about Nick Cage subscribing to our boy, or was that a real thing?
Oh yeah, no, I was just totally making that up,
Okay.
just to see how that would turn out, like as back and forth banter. But I don't think he heard it.
Oh, it was just
Who what? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, see, yeah, totally missed
ruined it. My bad.
No, I was telling everyone how you were subscribed to Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast, Star Talk Radio, and how you were a tier 1 sub.
Oh,
Tier 1 Patreon sub, yep.
See, what I do is I freelance there, and I give Neil deGrasse Tyson all his stuff. Where do you think he got the water bubble in? I mean, he can't come up with that. The guy got no imagination.
Water bubble? You mean the hula hoop?
No, man, with the sun on one side, putting a bulge in there, and the
Oh, when it just does a little, it just dances right through.
and now
whatever.
they're like pulling apart, and we're just basically spinning inside the oceans there, and yeah, that happened.
Yeah, Shane.
I like when he drops the mic and makes the sound man want to commit suicide.
In your steelmanning of the tides, you failed to include Neil deGrasse Tyson's steelman or custom interpretation of the tides.
That's what he says, man. We got the moon on one side, and it's making a bulge, just pulling it out a little bit. So our water goes out into space a little bit. And the other side, the sun's on that side, pulling it out. And we just kind of,
There's like a stationary globular water field, and the Earth rotates through it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. We're like, I don't know what the hell that is, but apparently, I don't know.
Space.
The sun's, man, I tell you, this downward force of gravity does a lot of external pushing and pulling.
Yeah, well, I like talking about that tidal bulge hula hoop thing because it's not even real. So like when Neil deGrasse Tyson is explaining it, you would if you didn't know any better, you'd think he was describing like a real life phenomena, and you're like, oh, what he didn't say was that that's only a part of tidal equilibrium theory, which is assuming a whole bunch of things that Isaac Newton created, right? And it's the gravitational forces explaining the tides completely, which is definitely not how it works. But to even go into it, to pretend in this pretend land, you have to pretend all of these things are the same, and it's like Earth only has one basin. There's no motion. All water responds instantaneously and uniformly to forces like gravitation. It has no predictive power. It has, no positions of the celestial bodies. And it's like, yeah, if all that's true, then the Earth hula hoops through a giant bulge of water as it oscillates back and forth in its orbit, as its gravitation is equal to its equilibrium theory in a wonderful unified force that doesn't affect either way. It's like, oh, that is retarded. I get it.
Man, if mass attracts mass, how come these guys up in the ISS aren't clumped together all the time? How come they ain't like got to push themselves? Get away
Perpetually
from me, man! Get away from me! How come that ain't happening? They just kind of float up there.
How come they all haven't become one person yet? It's a great question.
The super strong, the super not.
A super knot, dude. How badass would that be?
Apparently, it only works on long hair. I guess I don't know.
It only works on hairspray hair. Yeah, that's very, very poignant.
I'm still waiting to see the atomic clock up there, clicking away, doing that thing 9.3 billion times a second.
Tick, 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 tick.
I just 24 years later, guys, just still waiting. When are you gonna get that little atomic clock up there? It's kind of a small rig, not a big thing. Just fits in a little box. You can just toss it in the corner of the spaceship when you're doing the whole big exploding the hydrogen doodad thing, getting up there 10 G's.
Listen,
Yeah, you could just toss it in the corner. You'd still be going just as fast.
if we bring up additional things, how are we gonna fit all the jerseys for the NFL so we can put on the winning Super Bowl team?
Yeah, the Santa hats and all that stuff.
I can't remember how that whole thing happened, and they were like, "No, we didn't know beforehand. We sent them all up, and that's better."
That's better.
Like, whoa, you guys backed up into that one.
It's like, are you guys always bitching about fuel costs or something? Fuel to weight ratio or something? You're like, have all these jerseys.
Oh, because
like, dude, we have to account for a stowaway mice.
Dude, that happened because like they won the Super Bowl, and then right away there was a NASA thing, and they were like, "Hey, how did they get the shirts for the winner so quick?" Right? Like that just happened, and they were like, "Oh, well, orbit times and transits, and it definitely didn't just happen. Now they had it. Oh, we sent one of everyone. That's how we did it. Yeah, yep. It was like you guys fucked up.
You know how when you're traveling at relativistic speeds or what have you, you start to gain time or whatever, get that time displacement, that temporal displacement.
Oh, the twin paradox, sort of.
Yeah, maybe they were just ahead in the future and like saw the game and then put on the jerseys ahead of time.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so actually it's retro causality.
They are the best of the best, right? Just look at Pettit. Shining icon of the human
That's
species.
right.
Dude, intellectual superiority extreme, if I don't say so myself.
Hey, that guy knows a lot about cameras, though. He watch him talk about that what's his name? Smarter Every Day, Dustin or something like that. Go to his channel, and then he's done some collaboration videos with old Pettit. He's super knowledgeable about cameras and photography and stuff. Pretty interesting. When he's not talking about gaskets and shit and safety protocols, that dude's a camera wizard.
Nice.
Therefore, glob.
Well, it's good that he's not a complete retard, to be honest. I do feel a little bit better.
Well, no, I mean, he still talks like, goofy and shit, but he's like off the cuff, like knows things.
Right. That's good. That's good. That's probably how he got his astronaut degree or whatever.
He knew a bunch of unrelated things about cameras and was like, yeah, that's how it works.
Here, we're going to put you in space, buddy. Dude, how do you elect him to be your PR guy? It's like, all right, so we fucked up, right? We had a disaster. We're going to tell everyone that it's okay. Jenny, can you get your retarded cousin Tom to go do it? Can you get him to give a speech? I think it'll take the edge off if we deliver it by him.
Are you able to give NDS Bear a microphone? I've tried to accept them, but it's glitching out, I think.
Why are people locked?
I don't even see him.
Yeah, he's locked. He was locked.
That's just his. Can't
Oh,
read.
your posts are protected. Okay, whatever. That's cool. Oh, there he
Yep,
is.
what up,
Oh, that's
Jim?
our boy from Discord. I remember. My bad.
Allegedly, yeah. I mean, you don't know that, but I wanted to talk about the dinosaur, the T-Rexes. So we looked
Great
at the
acronym.
pictures how they made, and the T-Rexes, the male one, the penis would have to be where his belly button is, and the female T-Rex, the vagina would have to be like on her tail, basically. It's kind of
Hey, we don't tell.
Yeah, it's a weird thing when you're like, so they urinate out the back and they can never see. So wait, how do they aim?
See,
Hold on a second.
here's the thing. I always thought that because these were all reptiles. I mean, I was always thinking they were laying eggs anyway, and then the male would just come over and do the whole fertilization after the fact type of deal.
Nah, you gotta fertilize before the fact.
Dude, only fish squirt it after the fact, I think.
That's what I was imagining.
Yeah.
It's not a reptile. It's a fish thing, I think. I don't know, man.
I couldn't see.
Yeah, I think that's a sea snail thing or whatever. Seahorse. Seahorses do that.
Yep.
And
Sort of
caviar and
thing,
shit.
yeah.
That's what caviar is. That's just a
And
bunch
the
of
guy
fish jizz.
carries.
When you think about
How crazy is that? People are like, oh, dude, caviar is just fucking fish stuff. Nice.
You
dude.
think about the T-Rex. We're here
Gross.
trying to check out the Stegosaurus, man. That guy's got it the worse than the T-Rex. How's that guy getting down?
Yo, we got our boy Peter up here. Peter, our graticule datum boy, who just likes to.
Let me tell you about this one experiment that I did, but it was actually my friend who did it, and I don't even know all the parameters for it, and I can't tell you any curvature. But what's up, Peter? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Brian? What's new? What you been smoking?
Today I'm going with heroin with a little crack in it.
Ooh, candy flipping. That's my boy.
Stick to American spirit, man. Smoke organic.
Yeah. What are you smoking? You still smoking them Spaceballs?
No, nothing, unfortunately. How are you guys doing with the Aether Cosmology? I've been spending some time on Discord with my flat Earth friends, and I think I'm cozying up to Ether more and more, and also to the relative density idea.
Well,
So I've been building some bridges with the flat earthers there, and it's been going really well.
No, that's not true.
Ether has substance, man. What are you admitting that ether has substance?
Well, I've observed Peter repeat words like ether over and over again to a greater degree, and then he thinks this is building bridges. And he's like, look, guys, I just gave you a lesson on ether, but I just said ether a bunch of times. And he did use some like impressive word salad, like the toroidal orthographic geometry of the parabolic strip now has the slit, and now it's actually, you know, and it's just like, oh, that's real word salad. Congrats. Dude, that's good. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm learning.
Nice bridge.
Can you spell ether?
Yeah.
Can you spell ether?
Yes.
This multiple choice.
Like if you had to write it down, you could do it. Just check, like
Yeah.
Nick
Also.
asking for Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
In a pinch.
So he says he can, but he don't.
You have to do it really quickly, like gun to your head, you know, stressful situation. You could still do it.
Also. Yeah.
What is your ether?
Nice.
Again,
like how-
Brian,
Well, that's
you're
good,
breaking
man.
up.
I'm glad you're out there. You know, mending fences or what have you. That's cool, man.
Building bridges.
Mending fences, he said.
Don't forget to put a camber in your fridge, otherwise.
Wait, is that not the same?
No, it's mending
expression?
fences.
It
Peter's
is-
full of it.
It is now, yeah. I mean, fuck it.
It's rocket surgery, and you know it.
Listen, you can mend a fence, you can build a bridge.
But if you're
Everything
amending
related to
mending a fence is like building a wall between two people. I'm tearing down fences, man. I'm tearing down the walls. I'm building bridges.
But can you burn down a fence?
Dude, what is it that you're
You
always
could.
You're like always got in a tornado or something, man.
Oh, me?
You?
What is background noise?
Yeah.
Oh, I have AC.
Yeah, that was pretty loud.
I'm sorry, I have AC running here. I'm gonna turn it off. How about now? Better?
Speaking
Ooh,
of
don't-
building bridges,
don't
man,
do that.
miss my boy
Didn't
Orwellian.
sweat, dude. That's all.
Don't don't be turning off your AC. That's crazy, dude. It's 80% humidity up in here.
No, don't listen to Shane, dude. The audio quality for the listener is top priority.
Okay.
That's
Or
right.
But is it better now? Seriously. Serious
Yeah, it's
question.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You know, I was on Discord, and Discord filters out background noise, so
Yeah,
there it doesn't.
this guy's crisp.
I turn all
Yeah.
that shit off.
sit there and sweat.
Crisp is actually awesome noise canceling.
So, guys, serious question, because I have no idea. What is Ether? Like, what is it?
Well, cool you asked that because I set up Flat GPT to give answers just like that. And I did ask it, what is Ether? And it came out with a great response. I'll put it up in the Jumbotron for you, man.
But what is it made of?
Unicorn farts.
What is air made of?
Well, why don't you tell us? You've been doing a bunch of research. Why don't you go ahead and drop some gravy for us, Mr. Peter?
What is
I
made out of?
I actually don't know. I don't make any claims regarding the components of Ether. I just kind of know what its characteristics are as a medium, but I don't know what it's made of.
What are the characteristics? of-
So, what would make
We
you
are
think
in the
you
same-
think we got
Yeah,
some?
we're in the same boat, dog.
He thinks we got some secret info. We know
Well,
the.
it's okay. It's okay for you guys to say we don't know what Ether is made of. That's what I say.
I want you to tell
We
the
do.
character.
Wait, if something is the primary, wouldn't asking what it's made of make it not the primary substance?
That's right. So it's okay to say it's a primary substance. Yeah.
What are the characteristics of a medium?
I think it allows things to propagate through it, such as waves.
It's interesting.
Like waves, as in like disruptions of the medium, I guess, and maybe lets other things
Yeah.
float through it
Sure,
also.
sure. So it's
Well, I don't know much about the floating, but we can get into the measurements from Yuri Galev, where he makes predictions using equations that are, that govern hydrodynamics. So he's basically putting the ether as a turbulent flow, right? That's going east to west. And then when he has his interferometer parallel or perpendicular to that flow, he's able to, using the hydrodynamics, to discern from the wave bands, like when they're chaotic and when they're making a cohesive pattern. And from that, he was like able to discern kinematic properties, like the viscosity of it based off of turbulent and laminar flow through it when it's orientated with or against the flow. And then in addition to that, based off of the material shielding that was used in the interferometer, so like plastic, cardboard, etc., different dielectric materials or Fermi surfaces will yield different results in the wave bands when they're turned or whatever. Like they give different times for how long that they take to settle.
What about the
So-
orthogonality to the medium? What did he say about that?
Yeah, well, I specifically cover that. I feel like you're trying to word salad because when I
Yeah,
said
yes.
parallel or perpendicular to the flow, that was already covered.
Orthogonal is
You're
one of
trying
his
to say
words.
like
No, I'm asking the medium, not the flow.
what it's you said when the device is orthogonal to the flow, right?
What
That's
the
included in being
medium?
parallel or
The medium.
perpendicular.
Okay, whatever. Who was that guy again?
Yuri Galev.
And what is his story?
What about
What I just told you, what I was just telling you about.
Oh, who's the guy? Was he like at a university or NASA? What was he?
definitely NASA?
What's his background? That's what I'm asking.
He's NASA's etheric specialist, dude. I can't believe you don't know who that is.
I'm not sure. He was a physicist. I mean, I don't know, like what specific stuff you want. I can send you his background if you want.
Yuri Galev? Two E's?
Galev. No, it's Galaev.
Goliath.
Where's my?
Goliath Yuri Petrovich.
I've got a full workup on him somewhere.
Yeah, post that. I'm also
Oh.
posting.
Here it is. Research Night 01. Yuri Goliath review.
What? How do you say that other guy? Atu Soskowski? Atu
Atovsky?
Soskowski.
At Zutovsky.
Him. Yeah, he's the other guy.
Where's the?
Oh, there's a NASA guy. Goliath. There we go.
Did you find the NASA etherologist?
Yeah.
The etheric specialist or whatever?
Goliath Yuri.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Why am I? I don't know, you guys.
Yeah, but Mickelson Morley disproved the ether, so.
Right,
Oh yeah.
right,
Did you?
right.
Dang it.
What did he do?
No.
What was that? I missed that. What was that last part? Prove what?
That's just what they tell us, guys.
There's just like, I don't know, 10 seconds of silence.
Well, no, that's what nobody tells us, Peter. That's simply what Wikipedia first page says. Everyone else, the scientific community, the academia at large, even the Royal Society, disagrees vehemently. But people who look into it would know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the Mickelson Morley just gave us additional insights into the characteristics of ether.
And how would it do that?
How so?
Made us realize how the ether behaves.
How so?
How so what? You know the answer.
You're the one. No, you're okay. Yeah, you're definitely trolling us.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
Ether.
Peter's always
Yeah,
trolling.
absolutely.
Peter, you're making a claim that it helps us realize how the ether behaves. So how does the experiment help us realize how the ether behaves? That's your claim.
Well, he understood me. He just doesn't know.
I think it helps us understand that the speed of light is always constant through the ether.
That is what Mickelson Morley proves. Absolutely. Couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, wait, what'd you say?
I think you're making fun of me.
Only a little bit.
I liked my search on Yuri Gallo. It tried to sell me the first two hits were some dude named Yuri Galtsev. And then the next two hits were Aether Cosmology.
Dude, that is cool. Aether Cosmology is not big enough to be swiped off Google yet, so we're actually on search results. Look at that.
It's not very reassuring that the only source on the guy is you guys.
That actually is very reassuring.
Okay. I mean, the guy hasn't published much.
I mean, didn't we just tell you about him? So of course you researched him and found us. Doesn't that make you feel better?
He's got like 7 papers.
Yeah, it makes me
there's
feel
not a bunch
better
of
if
people in America citing him to refute relativity. That's weird.
the Ukrainian journal Space, Time, and Substance. That's he published in Space, Time, and Substance. Are you guys kidding me?
Have you read
You're not
the
a fan?
journal?
Have you tried to publish
Oh.
something against mainstream conclusions?
To me, space time is the enemy of ether.
So,
Some would say they're the
where do you publish at then?
Me?
Yeah,
On Twitter.
that's
Fair
where
enough.
That's where Ether Science belongs. Is on Twitter.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Hey, Peter, what is space time?
It's what Einstein made up.
No, that's a total avoidance of answering the question. What is space time, Peter?
I don't know. I think it's a concept.
Again, totally not answering the question. You're really bad at this. What is space time, Peter?
A mathematical concept.
Third X. No, he's not. Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him. If you can't, you can grapple the first term about relativity, what validity could you give it?
I don't know. I've been doing my own research on relativity.
Okay, so you were doing some research on relativity. How long did you spend on that? How much actual research on relativity did you did? Like a number of hours, perhaps? How much?
82 hours.
Okay, we'll round it. Let's say you did 100 hours or 80 even.
Thank you.
We'll cut it back and cut you some slack here. Well, let's say you did 80 hours. So you looked at what exactly for 80 hours about relativity?
Mostly the difference between space-time and ether.
No, I'm talking about the media that you took in, in terms of the information you were examining, studying, learning from. What form did all of that take for you?
Oh, okay. Some of it was in the form of reading of books, and some of it was in the form of watching YouTube videos.
And what percentage of each would you say that would be?
From the 82 hours,
Yeah.
22 hours reading and 60 hours listening to YouTube videos.
Okay. So 60 hours of videos on relativity.
Yeah.
And even after all of that study, you can't tell me what space-time is. Really?
I'm having doubts about space-time. I'm leaning towards ether.
Again, you're totally not answering the question. In fact, what you're doing is you're proving my assertion completely correct because you have not even begun to define it yet. After 60 hours of video, watching, paying attention, take notes, figure it out, can't tell me what space-time is?
I have some ideas.
Fifth attempt.
I don't think he's a real person, Stone, to be honest.
So far, Peter, you are not ranking above NPC. What? Throw me some kind of bone here, Peter. What is space-time? What is it? What is it, man?
NPCs are low, Peter.
I think it's an attempt at describing the ether.
How so?
I think it's an attempt at describing the medium through which all electromagnetic waves would propagate, as well as matter would propagate. That's, I think, what it is.
I'm sorry, I cannot give you any kind of passing grade for that as an answer. After 60 hours of watching videos on relativity and learning about space-time and all those other cool terms they have, and that's the best you can offer me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Peter.
Talk in circles. He doesn't answer any questions. He can't back up anything he says. He can't even bring his own experiments. He can't even tell you that he brought somebody else's experiments, man. Can't even tell you what curvature is over distance.
Oh, that I can do.
I've been yes in meters, so that's.
He's got a very specific set of skills, Nick Cage.
And I already know what he's
Yes.
going to give the radius of the Earth.
Measuring the curvature is my specialty.
But you haven't. You don't.
Is that the punchline? It's the punchline to every joke he tells.
Once you get, I mean, I can do his stick better. How much you getting paid, Peter? I just want to know because I can do.
See, that's my typical question too, Nick. Totally, man.
I can do your shit better than you can, man. I don't even need diagrams or your pie chart.
Do it
your
right.
Shit down.
Do it right now for his paycheck. We'll fire him right now.
So what you got here?
If you could replace him.
I have an observer height of 56 feet, and we're going to look at a building that's 224 feet high. 224 feet high. We're going to look at this over a 21-mile distance. How much curvature do you get?
6,371 kilometers.
Oh my God.
That's the radius.
They're indistinguishable.
That's not the actual curvature.
What a smoking calculation you got there, Peter.
It is.
Whenever you ask Peter for a math answer, he gives the radius in kilometers, just so you know.
And with the 56 feet observer height, you're looking at about 93 feet of curvature, obstructed view.
I don't think so.
An actual fact. So don't challenge me on my numbers, man.
You asked me about curvature, now you're talking about obstructed view. Those are different things.
Right next to you. You should save it, man. I do all the work for you. Why don't you just say, hey, man, I'm going to defer to Brian because he knows what he's talking about.
I always defer to you as far as drop and obstructed this and that. When you ask me about the curvature, I tell you what I measure.
Hitting 21 miles. And the distance is actually 21.2 miles, by the way. But
6,371 kilometers.
That's the overall radius of the Earth.
I'm telling you, man.
Knowing the radius is knowing the curvature, Brian. We've been all over this for hours.
21 miles.
Brian, knowing a radius of a sphere is knowing the curvature.
Peter, we're talking about 21 miles, not 3,959.
Doesn't matter how many miles. The radius and the curvature are the same.
But isn't that assuming that it is a sphere?
What kind of curvature do you?
No, it's
games too,
it's
Peter.
determining. It's determining the sphere.
The only
Wait, you're determining it's a sphere by saying that you have this curvature and you have this curvature because it's a sphere?
That's what he does.
Yeah, he's not really trying.
No, we measure the we measure the curvature and then we know it's a sphere.
But
you know it's a sphere when you're measuring the curvature?
Yeah, if you measured zero curvature, you'd know there is no sphere involved.
What about?
Right, but that's called circular logic. So if you assume it's a sphere, yes,
no, I don't assume.
How does scale factor into this, Peter?
Why would you accuse me of something this ridiculous?
A curvature, and then that curvature is what tells you it's a sphere.
Yes.
That's circular logic.
Yes, that would be, and that would be ridiculous.
It's reification.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Nobody does that.
How does scale factor into your measurements?
What do you mean?
Scale, man.
Okay, you just say scale, man. Okay, scale, dude.
And scale. So how does scale factor into your ability to measure this curvature?
Oh, yeah, you know, our instruments have limited precision, so.
Can you perceive any curvature?
Well, you better talk to Jesse about that, man. That guy can smoke.
I have talked to him about
105 miles away, and he can get her down to the eighth of an inch, dude. So I don't know about imprecise. He's got a line right up there. You better consult.
I spent a few hours talking to him. I know him very well.
Dude, I really want to know how much you get paid, because I got to tell you, man, it doesn't take much to do what you do.
I can't tell you, Brian. It's under NDA.
And I just give me.
You don't qualify.
What is it? weareglobies.com. What do I got to go to?
You don't qualify.
Together.org.
Did you guys see what Ken just posted? This book?
No.
Oh my God, I've been reading through it and posting on it. I put it up in the Jumbotron. Ken, where have you been hiding this thing, dude? It's Cosmic Ether Research Gate. What is this? The dynamic ether of cosmic space. Literally goes through our whole position with illustrations, historicity, the same people we talk about. Yeah, dude. Look at this post, man.
That is Twilight Zone action there, man.
Nice, dude. Let's talk about that for a little bit instead of what we were talking about before. Dude, that's what's up.
Like, I can't believe, Ken, when you've been sitting on this, dude, and it's not even a paper, it's a book, right, by James DeMille. Oh, dude. I never saw this before, but I'm just, like, rifling through it, and it's got so much gravy. Chapter 2 is called The Erasure of History into New Territory, Additional Evidence. Dude, it's so good. Literally goes over Mickelson, or, like, just look at the table of contents, right? This is what got me in the beginning. It's like part 1 is all the cosmic ether as theory and experimental confirmed fact. Cool. Part 2, the Empire Strikes Back, erasure, mystification, and falsification of history. Shit, you might as well call that one Jewish mysticism right on its face.
You need to send me that copy of that, man. That sounds pretty cool.
It's in the purple pill.
Rockin'.
Thank you, Ken, for being awesome. And also, not thank you for holding out on us. So, kind of wash this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'll
are
be honest with
orchestrating over this.
you. I never checked to see if it was actually in the stuff that Alan has given me.
Yeah, which work is it?
It's
James DeMeo.
Which one?
If you look in
the dynamic ether of cosmic space correcting a major error in modern science.
Oh yeah, we have that one.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't read it.
You know, it's available.
I just assumed you had it. You haven't read it? It's only 40 pages, and it's fucking dynamite.
Yeah, we do have it. I have not read it, and now I'm kicking myself because this is awesome.
Yeah, I did not have that. Only until I just added it. Nice.
Really? You don't have this one?
This would be cool to go over. Yeah, never seen it. Actually, I recognize the cover art, but beyond that, nothing.
Yeah, see, that's what it was. It's like I looked at it once and I never opened it. Is what I did. So that's just me.
Yeah, dude, reading night.
I was just gonna say that, dude. Reading night for sure.
Oh, dude.
The plot thickens.
Oh, it opens with that Einstein quote about how
Yep.
You know, otherwise the whole relativity theory collapses like a house of cards to rock a nation. That's what it opens with. That's awesome.
It pretty much Steelman's our position very, very well with illustrations, pictures, and like it's sort of the chronological order. It's pretty good.
Nice.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. Shout out to you.
Right, dude, it's all about Galev and everyone that we talk about constantly. People are like, those people are retarded and they made the wrong measurement consistently to the same degree of specificity for 800,000 measurements.
on the nanometer wave spectrum. Okay.
Yeah, this book is 2019 too. That's pretty cool. Man.
That's great.
Oh, well, that must be newer than the one we have. Ours is 2019.
Demio drop, my dude.
Dude, Galef's Aetherwind Velocity.
We're collecting Pokemon cards.
Galef's Sidereal Azimethal Determinations.
I got this one in December.
Aetherwind Velocity versus Altitude, boys. That is the chapter.
Yeah, but orthogonal.
I just read the chapter that says the Oregon anti-nuclear radiation effect, and you just repeated his buzzword of orthogonal at the same time. Anti-nuclear radiation. What is that?
No mention of graticules, though. All that stuff.
A little bit sus. An ether
Little
paper
sus.
doesn't mention the graticule. That's right. You can't really trust an etherist that doesn't know about graticules.
Damn, so you're saying I tripped up and knocked one out of the park?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be better if you didn't phrase it like that. We could have said it was on purpose.
You fucked up.
Awesome,
Toby apparently discovered it months ago.
It's right in the book. Ether. We now need to refer to ether as what is. It's called the primordial swerve. That's it right there, boys.
In a word,
ether is the primordial swerve.
That's where you get life, man. It wasn't in no ooze.
I like it. Primordial swerve model.
That's kicking.
Yeah, dude, it's good to find new reading material that's like excellent. It's like, oh, this isn't dry, boring nonsense, mainstream regurgitated propaganda bullshit. Oh, it's interesting, and all the stuff that we talk about.
Dude, I'm excited to read. I want to read it right now.
I'm already doing.
And Lele Hana has entered the room.
Madam Ambassador's here. Somebody get her a mic.
On it, sending the security team now to pick her up. So I don't know if my invites work, so you might have to send somebody else.
The limo has got a flat
So
tire.
so I'm saying is like you might have to call Hearst or whatever, or Hertz, whatever it is. Call a Hearst. I don't know. Hertz.
Nice. Who else we got down here?
You know, if you're having problems up there, you can go up to the three dots up on the top there, and you can set it so people can join as a speaker.
Yeah.
Ooh, little risky, dude.
It is very risky, especially with me up here, dude. People hate me.
I love you, Shane.
Some guy came into Sheepdog Space the other day and was full blown crying at Shane, like crying at Shane as an argument.
Like high pitched.
Like imagine Like imagine, have you ever heard of like, oh, Chinese torture or Chinese, what do they call it? What's the one where they drip water into your mouth until you die or
The
whatever?
water torture.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chinese
Oh, you
water
mean
torture or whatever.
Waterboarding.
Yeah, but it's a little different. This dude was trying to waterboard Shane with his tears.
Oh man.
He was like, open your mouth so I can cry into it. And Shane was like, I'm very confused and hydrated. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this argument.
Dude, I got some real haters too, man. I think they're funny.
Do you though?
Was that the one where they dripped it on the forehead and like they slowly drove them insane?
Dude,
That's
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
it was
different.
something like
That's water
that.
torture.
You
It's
do
different.
that to me as a
Chinese
kid.
water.
He'd sit there, and as a kid, he'd sit there and pin my arms down and stuff, and just sit there with his right there on my forehead.
Poor Nick.
That's why I
he's
just
really upset with you, Shane, and he was just crying, like literally crying.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
argument was to shriek tears at me, essentially.
He was emotionally perturbed because he felt that Shane stole from Walter Bislin.
Yeah, so Shane makes a point, and then this guy goes, "Yeah, but have you considered that I have feelings too?"
Not even. He's like, have you considered Walter's feelings? I really want to be angry on behalf of Walter. And it's like, oh, dude, Walter didn't give a fuck, or he'd be up here, right?
Oh, Walter,
Oh.
who made the model.
Walter Bislin. Thanks, Walter.
Walter Bislin. Oh, you guys brought up the
Shout out to
primordial
Wally.
soup. Can I change, or can I bring up something to talk about, or are we doing like a specific?
No, absolutely. Primordial
Yeah,
soup
shoot.
away, my dude.
Yeah, do you guys know what abiogenesis is?
Nope.
Never heard of her.
So basically, it's the idea that that's how we got from primordial ooze to organic compounds. This is one of the currently floated theories, and essentially, it's so there is some ooze, and lightning struck it, and then you have people. Is there a way? Is like yeah, it's basically that. iHypocrite does a really good video on it, but yeah, it's basically lightning struck some organic material and infused it with the spark of life.
Dude, that is
Sounds like a
awesome.
Greek myth. I know it sounds like I'll link it in the Discord. You guys
And
can
then
look at it later.
and then it feasted on a wolf's tit to stay alive or whatever, right? And it was two brothers.
Romulus and
And then they
Remus.
founded a civilization that was in a perpetual war with each other. Is that the one, or is that a different one?
Yeah, and then Zeus became a swan.
Nice. Shout out to Aphrodite. That's one of my favorite Greek
Yeah, she's
people.
fun, so. So his thumbnail for the video is Frankenstein. I think that's pretty fitting. But yeah, it's called abiogenesis. Abiogenesis. It's lightning struck, and that's how the ooze.
Isn't that band with Phil Collins in it?
Oh, isn't that the whole baseline for evolution or whatever?
Yeah,
Man,
abiogenesis.
confusion.
Oh, I thought I thought it was called abiogenesis.
Yeah, it is. That's the name.
Okay,
What was it
yeah,
called?
dude.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Something
pronounce
that
it. I
wasn't
pronounce it
that-
probably five
Ge-
ways.
Oh,
Genesis,
yeah, that
like,
one I have heard about, yeah.
like from the Bible, yeah.
We've heard Dave, what's his
Yeah.
name? Not Professor say that, dude.
Yeah, Professor Dave and that other guy, what's his name? Anyway, they had a debate on abiogenesis,
Yeah.
and dude crushed him. Professor Dave got crushed.
Dr. James Tour annihilated him. Yes.
Yeah, that's the guy.
And since we're talking about evolution, I'm going to put the complete accurate steel man of evolution, courtesy of Mr. Garrison, and I'll put that in the Jumbotron.
Oh, good.
Seriously,
Yeah,
just
that's a good one.
think for a nanosecond about lightning, and considering that the object we're talking about is the size of a cell or maybe smaller, do you know what happens to organic material that size when it gets hit by lightning? It instantly vaporizes into ash.
It doesn't gain sentience, though? Are you sure? Hold on, though.
No, yeah, it starts self-replicating and
Absolute
becoming a different
obliteration.
organism. and then it gains sentience, like Shane said.
Can I make it a little more ridiculous? This theory of Jenny or whatever it's called. So this
abiogenesis.
Abiogenesis. So it says external forces may have triggered these reactions, and that's synthesizing inorganic compounds.
Is that like God but not God?
Radiation, atmospheric entries of micrometeorites, and implosions of bubbles. So that's how the ooze became.
Oh, alien ooze, lightning. Yeah, that equals sentience.
Micrometeorites.
Next thing you know, you got the Flintstones.
Right? Instant life. You get primordial ooze, you get lightning, boom.
Think about all the lads that used to live with the dinosaurs on the first iteration before the Matrix got reset by the asteroid.
Evolution talk. That's pretty funny. Primordial ooze is a great topic. Dude, I love the people who are like, we definitely came from monkeys, but you guys are retarded. Like, oh, yeah, I love that position. Can we go through that? The missing link so it's like monkeys are hybrids of humans? No. We evolved. Okay, well then why are there still monkeys? First of all, right? Nope.
So what you're saying here is you're not buying some magical amoeba just appeared out of nowhere, turned into a salamander, got bored, said I got to get out of this joint, flipped up on a shoreline and said, "Oh crap! Now I got to evolve some lungs," and then turned into a frog, and then pumped a monkey, and then out popped a bunch of humans that said, "Hey, you know what? I got an itching to do is make me a hammer and chisel, go pound on the hardest thing possible and start making a bunch of stone buildings." You don't buy that?
Frankly, I recommend everybody watch that debate between Dave and Tour. It is fantastic. Dave does an excellent job repeatedly gaslighting the entire audience watching. He would look over periodically and look at the crowd in the second, third, fourth rows, these academicians stacked rows of people, and he would say, "You guys don't have any idea what he and I are talking about right now, do you?" Like half a dozen times he did that. It was absolutely outrageous.
That's funny because that happened in Ruhif and I's debate, and we moved on immediately for the benefit of the people instead of circle jerking each other for a perfect. It's like, oh, is nobody listening? Great, let's get them.
Well, it's also really like that really illustrates who his typical audience is and who he's typically speaking to, right? Like, if he was actually a quote professor and he was actually the type of person that was, typically debating high level discussions, then he wouldn't have that mindset. He only has that mindset because he's a viral YouTuber that, appeals to the lowest common denominator.
Yep. But personally, when I'm learning, I love to be talked down to and treated like a piece of shit. That's how I learn best. So,
dude, I ain't gonna lie, man. That makes me learn out of spite, man. That just like what?
No, that's true. Spite learning is very powerful.
Spite learning is, yep. Nothing will make you learn more than spite learning, dude. I remember one time Toby spite learned electricity. He was like, he goes, somebody made me uncomfortable with a question I couldn't answer, and now I'm going to learn everything about it.
Yep. That's how it happens, man. Spite learning is like from Twitter only, though. We've done so much good from spite learning from Twitter.
I'm telling you, stupid flirts.
Dude, the only reason Alan's here because someone's like, read a paper, Flurf, and he spite read like 700, and now we're here.
There's only one issue with this approach to learning, though.
You actually have to go out there.
Well, there's that.
Can you spell it?
That if I draw a conclusion that doesn't agree with the mainstream, it's wrong because of my poor education. I'm not smart enough to truly understand the data, which will lead me to cause, to have misinterpretations of reality.
No.
And lose all your friends.
No. Before you know it.
I still haven't heard him spell ether yet, so but whatever.
I'm still working on that one.
He said he could do
He's still Googling. Hold on.
Out of spite, I will learn how to spell it.
That's pretty funny, Peter.
Nice.
Yeah, one possible outcome is, before you know it, you're a male in your mid-20s and you think the Earth is flat. But other than that, nothing wrong with spite learning, guys.
Who's in their mid-20s?
Yeah.
Digging the gaslighting and the assumption above my age. I love it.
You're stupid, so you must be a teenager.
You do. You're at least 40. The guy in the tank top is in his mid-20s.
Guy in the tank.
Who?
You.
Someone he's trying to do some kind of
I'm
a
36.
I think he's taking
psychological trick too. I don't know.
your headband is a shirt, I think.
I'm like personally
You're
really
underdeveloped for 36.
dude, nah, we're not doing that. Nah. Get him out. Underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to everybody.
It's
We're gonna
only
clean up the
'cause
mess here.
we don't have any real Globers as people were entertaining them. Although, I mean, do you guys want to talk to Globers?
I mean,
Honest ones.
yeah,
Sure.
sure. Yeah, the ones that are cool.
You got
sure.
any of
People
those?
that, or I don't care if they're flat Earth or Glover, just people that can have conversations and not divert into weird personal attacks
You don't like perpetual
or
fucking-
psychological tactics or like, but on the level of like a sixth grader girl.
Yep.
Well,
I gotta wrestle up some food. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Cool.
Well,
Word.
speaking of level, you know, level's a curve line, right?
I did know that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I learned that. Fight the fat shirt told me.
Yeah, Globers taught me that online on the internet when I started to argue with logic and common sense. I quickly learned, nope, that ain't it. That's not what you
Well, you
fight
know,
with.
the problem, Shane, with looking at stuff online is that you might get misled. See?
Yeah, I quickly realized I'm actually too stupid to read things on my own. I actually need an authority figure to tell me what that I read so that I can interpret it correctly.
Yeah, the
So
constant
did
shaping
you
arrangement of society is also very important.
Your room is super loud, bro.
Oh, mine? I'll mute.
did y'all did any of y'all download the books? One of them specifically. I know we progressed way past that, but I figured it'd be handy to have. I tossed the entire training manual for survey in there. Which is funny because that whole portion that they try to use is literally in that entire book the smallest paragraph that exists because it's a non sequitur. It's not used.
Who's speaking right now? It's not telling me.
Ooh, so you have to play Elon Roulette and just guess. But I'll give you a hint. It's Elon.
Yeah, and no one can tell? No one can see who's speaking? That's the game on Twitter?
It's just
Yeah,
that my
actually,
thing isn't
speaking of that,
updating, right?
I'm gonna leave and rejoin.
It's even more fun when you can't tell who you're approving and accepting and muting. You just kind of got to trust it.
Yeah. See if you're able to take my co-host real quick, and then I'm gonna rejoin.
Do I have to take it? That's probably what you should do, huh? Because when I try to leave with it, I just come back with it and it ruins it.
Right.
Didn't work on the computer. Let's try the phone.
Second time's a charm.
Dude, he got removed mid-sentence. That's how hard it worked. Did I did I block him forever? No, you're fine. You're leaving to come back. Cool. Oh, the D3 popping in. There's Alan back. So that worked. Dude, the phone works every time. I'm glad that I only have it for this. Launch a Twitter space on your phone, put it down, go on the computer. Does Nick have his hand up?
Do I have my hand up? No.
Yeah, when have you ever put your hand up to speak? Nick just speaks.
Now I was watching the official story on the theory of evolution, and I'm sold, man. Gave monkey fish frogs. That's what.
Oh, you're not echoing. Sorry, it was Discord. I can actually hear you now, and it was from that. I muted on Discord, but stay on there just in case.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you now on Twitter. Earlier, I couldn't. I had to listen through Discord.
Oh.
So I was saying you're echoing, but you actually weren't. It was me.
Gotcha. All right, so you deafened in Discord, and now Stone can hear me, and we're all good still. Whew.
Yep.
Dude, Twitter's lucky we're competent at handling Twitter hurdles so adamantly because they throw so many all the time. It's like who can hear who? Doesn't matter. We're gonna multi-prong attack this bitch. So that worked. You're back. We're all good. Did someone say that we have to watch a not Professor Dave debate?
No. We should watch
the
that.
James Tour debate. I have kind of been wanting to watch that a little bit.
It was really good because the intro was very reminiscent to how you'll see like just a bunch of straw manning and poisoning the well and just craziness with no like substance or any science or anything from one side, and then your boy James Tour comes in hot, full of citations, full of attacking the argument, dismantling the sources, going through the sources, dismantling their like, dude. This dude was surgical with it. It came in, and basically what had happened is the abiogenesis argument, just like from what I remember, was that they had proved it in a lab that that these chemical compounds would spontaneously grow into a thing or whatever, right? But the thing is that the conditions that the baseline chemicals that they were using already had to be synthesized in a lab like prior to this. So it's just like they hand off these compounds to another lab, and then this other lab's like, oh look, we're independently introducing these compounds, and now blah blah. Dude, it's the most insane thing ever, right? So like, it's obviously not a real position that you could have once you can articulate that and expose it for what it is. And that's what James did. Just like, that's how easy it is to dismantle it. I don't even remember anything of the specifics other than it's already synthesized. They send it to another group, and then they pretend, and they're like, "Look, guys, when these together will become life." Shading your eye. And it's insane. So let's see. Yeah. So anyway, he comes in hot, just debunks all that, exposing it for what it is, and then like Dave just had nothing, just more ad homs, getting them into the mud, and then he finally gets them to like talk about some personal drama dog shit that they had, which like detracted from the whole debate, and it was over at that point. But prior to that, like it's GG. If you ever want to like have a GG argument against evolution, it's all you can just follow the sources that he gives in his intro, and that's it. And the whole argument is that they just lied and pretended, and then present it to the public as if you don't need you don't need a very significant creator to create all this. You can just have it from nothing. It's insane.
I didn't realize the whole thing was hinged on someone pretending to do it in a lab. They're like, look, we have these chemical compounds, and zap, see that? Now it's a human. Like,
yeah, there's dude, yeah, we got to get Taylor from she usually comes on Flat Earth Friday. Talk to her about it because she specialized in that.
Oh yeah, biologist.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is retarded," So it's literally it's insane. They just synthesize it, send those to a different lab, and they're like, "Oh look, when we introduce these to a system, they independently become bacteria or whatever It's like sick, dude.
That's how they have to validate the lightning theory of primordial ooze. My god.
Yep, it's disgusting. Yo, Lily, you're free to shoot whenever. You are Madam Ambassador Royale. I'm adding the Royale part at the end, seeing how it fits. Let me know if you like it or not.
You guys are so funny. Yeah, I was gonna say that, so much of what we were led to believe was just, bona fide, verified, proven science is just all conjecture and guesses. It's so ridiculous that they would, pass it off as real science. It's mind-boggling, and it's almost like sort of like intellectually criminal, really.
Intellectually criminal. That's going.
Dude, that's a whole new court we should have. That's right.
Yes.
Intellectual court.
I want to see the hashtags.
Hashtags will be had.
I like how all of it's reified, but the sad part is, without COVID, I still would believe in gravity and nonsense in space and particles and all the stupid shit that we're making fun of today. I still would be wholeheartedly not giving a shit about any of that if they didn't try so hard with COVID.
Yeah, I think COVID was a turning point for a lot of people,
It
huh?
woke a lot of people up.
It's yeah, yeah. It's That's when I got interested in flat Earth, was just when COVID began in 2020. That's when I got interested in flat
It took
Earth.
me a whole year after that to get into flat Earth. I had to do truthing and figure out government and money and the doctors and medical systems and vaccines and viruses, exosomes, how terrain theory works. And then it was like, by that, and it was like flat Earth, and they were like, "You're a flat earther," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't give a shit." I've been called, white white supremacist, racist, anti-Semite by this point. So flat earther was like, "Oh, you got me. I'll stop immediately."
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Greetings.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
It's a pleasure to get to talk with you guys. It's I've been wanting to join one of these spaces for a little while. I just want to say it really is something amazing when you guys find your way into someone who's, your stuff gets all over the place. People are reading us right now that we don't even think about. Guys at centers, guys at CERN. It's not a joke what we're doing.
Nice. No, that's how we met Robert Bennett, man. One of our sources was watching our stream. We were like, "Oh,
Dude,
did you want to come and hang out with us?" Or
that was so cool, man.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm in the sciences right now. I'm going on some, highfalutin track and whatnot, and I'm just tapping into the spirit, the Geist. I come from a background in chemistry. I did a math degree. I did chemistry. Now I'm in pharmacy school, and I can't really seem to make sense of that to anybody. But I came out of that, and I'm like, dude, the kind of questioning reality you do when you see what it's like inside this medical system, the kind of questioning that you guys, it's like me every day. It's crazy. I want to make a specific point, because I often find I join these spaces and people tell me that I talk too much or whatever if I have a question. So here's my question. Has it interested you guys that you spend more time talking actually about the scientific dialectic than any physical empirical facts necessarily? Like, it might seem ridiculous, what you had your friend just come in and he was like, he doesn't know anything and you're just joshing him. But a lot of philosophy and math starts with guys who are just in this like purely speculative thing, and then just kind of bring it down, and then it gets discussed, worked over. And that's like, I love your method. That's like exactly what I've been trying to do, but like alone. But have you guys noticed you spend more time talking about how people talk with each other than how things, let's say, so-called really work, when we've actually been talking about the way things really work all along? This mediation process and these arguments that we have with each other. So this is like the late philosophy that kind of created this period that we're talking about, this of Aether physics, comes out of like a whole European philosophy movement thing first, and then materials were just used to justify, this it's 13759, all right, but that's like society. It's not real, So we're kind of coming out of this like philosophy period where like, people are talking about the inner discordances and harmonies between things. They're talking, it's romanticism. So I'm going to say it's like a period of romanticism that pretty much like bred all the stuff that we're reading. And these guys talk about like another way of doing science that's just like pure conversation and pure thought instead of like. Now, of course, it's important to go and do real things in the real world, but we can't. We're physically limited. So like I'm reading, I remember, what's like your first experience reading Einstein? It's like, I'm on a bus and people are moving differently than me. Like I've been trying to find just like, since I'm very busy now, I work at a pharmacy and whatnot. It's like, what is the initial disclosure that gets you treating this world? You know, is it like light wrapping around the moon? Is it like a laser beam? Or is it like a social interaction?
Where did you go, man? I lost you here.
I'm saying that people are like having social interactions. Those things actually inform scientific intuition. And then it just becomes a whole nother area that's talked about. But you know, this is a world of spirit and spiritual effort. You know, we can, like, can you imagine in a few years, all of us find our way in life and we literally build a lab? What would that be like? You know, of course we'll find something. You know, we have to, just it's necessary. You know, so I found learning all this science, kind of repairing my brain after college, that like literally we're understanding by having conversations with each other all along. That's the way science should be done. What you guys allude to, you're very self-conscious about this. You have this like this shared experience of like going to school with people and fuck with you guys. I'm sorry. I'm listening to the conversation. You know, I like to share a little bit more about what I've been doing, but I don't want to sound like arrogant and like I have my head up my ass, so I'll just stop talking.
Well, welcome to the space, man. I don't know if I've ever talked to you before.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys, man. I've been following you for a long time now. Just reading your stuff. I have huge stacks of papers. I mean, I actually read papers.
Yeah. We tend to do that for fun at night when no one's looking as well.
I like the thought, you know, he's a bartender. He was sneaking on his phone and reading a PDF at work.
Dude, you remember that one time it was like 4 a.m. on a Saturday and Flatman came to like make fun of us and we were all three like reading a PDF or something and he was like, "What are you guys doing? You're not reading a PDF now. You're not even streaming." We were like, "Oh, yeah, you caught us, dude. We do it for fun. Sorry, man."
It's awesome.
Welcome
it's good.
back.
It's a good thing. I thought I was the only person in this whole world that did it for fun. You know, life's crazy.
It's like, if you don't do it for fun, can you do it to save your life and that of your children? Like, what if you're going to inject your family with poison and what's saving you is reading a paragraph? Can you read that paragraph? Most people...
That's nuts to me because that's exactly
Can
what they
you read that paragraph, dude? It's like
that's exactly what they accuse us of doing.
A game show,
They accuse
boys.
us of doing that.
Can you read that paragraph?
No, you stupid conspiracy theorist.
They say that's what we're doing, and it's like, no, dude, we're like, I'm just trying to have a conversation here. See what's real. Aren't you? Where are your colleagues? Where are your networks of letters?
The season premiere of Can You Read That Paragraph? The guy got said, the shot has never been tested. Oh, wait, did you just say donut? Did you say I get a donut? wait, where do I get the sure, put it in my arm. Where's the donut? That was how the first episode ended. Dude, I don't think anyone ever read the paragraph.
That's literally what it's like to work with those people in real life. Like, you go to a serious, like, oh my God, this is a hospital. This is where they're supposed to be curing people, guys. And like, it's like that. It's like, wow, holy shit. That's nuts. You're like, just give me the donut, man. Like,
they're not into cures. There's no money in that. They are into treatments. Pay attention. You have to pay close attention.
Oh, of course. It's all when you say Kabbalah.
Not cures.
That's very true.
Well, listen, we have our own Kabbalah too. That's what we're doing. You know, that's the best part of all of this. It's like, I could just walk into a forest and I'm going to find someone to talk to. You know, like, it could be, you know, we could have this process doesn't, you know, one person can do it. You know, I've been feeling like that. It's like a lot of us feel that way. A lot of us, like, in this world.
One person can have a conversation? Is that what you said?
Oh, one person can totally have a conversation with
And you
themselves.
say that one person can, like, spark an idea and then it sort of moves further.
Oh,
I
you
think
mean like?
I think one person can go through all of the conceptual transitions on the way to a fully formed thing. So they can have an idea, they can also think conceptually, and then they can take those concepts back in and argue with them. So that's something that we could do in our heads.
So like,
That's metaphysics.
well, what if 3 people in different spots in the world all had the same idea at the same time? How would you explain that?
I think that well, that's tapping into a world that's beyond our comprehension, quite frankly. I mean, we could say certain things about it, but it is mediation. It's like mediation itself. It's like more math. It's more
Well,
math. It's more like some secret, you unwrap it like a present. You keep on going. It's kind of like you go through
Yeah,
school, and it's like
I
that.
think you should spend more time looking up the morphic field, MORPH.
Oh, listen, if you guys
Spend some
believe
time.
that, I believe it too. Believe me, I'm just skeptical. I'm just really skeptical. I'm just really skeptical because it's like it seems like every interpretation that they want us to have about it is false, and but we only take up some variation of that. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Like we talk about these things, it's bigger than we can perceive. I mean, the fact that they can get any results at all, plugging in imaginary number systems into these equations, and they produce something that actually exists. Now, of course, it's like, is it all fake? Are they just lying to us, or is there something real there? I'm of the idealist camp for sure, and those things exist. Totally, we create it though. We're kind of in the mix with it. I mean, there's necessity, there's physical necessity. But when did we start having a conversation about all this science stuff, and we stopped having a conversation about this stuff?
when we started bringing about the ether.
Yeah, the ether. It's like, relativity. It's interesting because it's like you talk about that clock experiment on the ISS. My understanding of this, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've done enough math that no one's going to talk circles around me. I know what a tensor is. I've done written programs. Okay, whatever. Like, the theory actually makes it impossible to test itself. It's like an untestable theory. It's unfalsifiable.
It's covariant with everything, of course. Yeah, of course. It's backwards
What
compatible.
I don't understand about
causality.
this, I don't understand about this issue is like, if it is possible, even within the, like, let's say, Einsteinian world frame. When I talk about this, when I say world frame, and you're looking for definitions, what I mean is like Einstein sitting on his whole background, and he's sitting on a bus, and he's having these disclosures, and then he's mathematizing that, and yeah, there's some aspect of it that's true, because you're here experiencing it. You had to get there in cognition first. Like when you talk about these scientific.
No, we lost you, buddy.
Come in, Houston.
We all like tensors, man. Everyone likes tensors. Come on.
Got
I
10
think,
yeah.
I think is he referring or alluding to modern day theoretical physics? Is that what it is?
Sort of. I'm saying that some of that has to be real, because like if people didn't get their love from somewhere, they'd surely die. That
What?
sounds fucked up, right? No, like people have to
Maybe
be finding something.
What?
Maybe it's the Akashic records you're reaching to.
Oh, totally. You get into that stuff, dude, for sure. But to answer your question, multiple people around the world having the same idea at the same time, it's because it's not just in our heads. Duh, right? So yeah, you get into a morphic field. But the morphic field is just an example that exhausts nothing.
Can someone explain the morphic field to me like I'm like 15 or 5?
100.
Okay, so if you look at light
100 monkey theory.
diffracting around the moon, that's
No,
actually
not that.
you look at light diffracting around the moon, and you see those movements. Okay, and I totally believe that medieval astronomers had access
That's not what it
to
is,
those
though.
kind of images.
Is it like the monkey
they
ladder
see-
thing where like
Yes.
a monkey it's the monkey ladder thing? That's it?
Yes, right,
Okay.
right. Well, I think Stone explained it to us last week when a monkey on an island starts cleaning off his food, and then the monkey, like on a different island with no contact, would start doing the same behavior after a certain threshold. And that's It makes no sense with interconnected particles in quantum mechanics, instantaneous
Of
action
course
at
not.
distance with no interconnection. But
They
it
argued
would
about
make
this for hundreds of
sense
years.
with
They
an
never
etheric
solved the
background and a
issues.
field, right? So that would make sense if it's already connected that way. When so that little monkey had the idea, it sent out a perturbation, so to speak, of whatever thought and morphic field, and
Perturbation.
then other monkeys would have been able to hear it, right?
Yeah,
Oh
then
my
they
god.
did like the monkey ladder. Joe the Toe would say that is mushrooms, man. You know the stoned ape.
Oh yeah, of course. They
Is
love
how
that
he
one now.
explains it. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
it's a lot of
They
background
loved it. They
noise.
love that
Can
one now.
somebody mute up? It's a lot of background noise. Can somebody mute up while they're talking, please?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, that is much better. Rusty, welcome.
Oh, it's that I'm outside. I am sorry. I am outside under the moon.
You're about to have special guest Mister is going to come on.
Ooh, he better make
he just got off work.
7 intellectual comments that will stimulate and invigorate me.
Stimulate and invigorate.
You're a
How much?
scientist. You're just
so,
describing it as it's happening to you. You're writing it down.
How much more pressure can I put on him to perform? Let's see.
Hey, I
Yeah,
learned
suddenly you're
something new
supposed to keep to
today.
yourself.
If it's intellectual, I guess you guys can decide. But I learned that so about these solar simulators, some are very little in labs, some are just ground based, and some are atmospheric, kind of similar to the James Webb Telescope. But anyway, that's beside the point. Let me let you know that this is pretty cool that they are emulating the from the nanometer to centimeter and up, scaling up, scalable results that they can reproduce the exact wavelength and iridescence of our real sun. How about that? Depending on what they need it for in their work area or work.
Wow.
That is
Yeah,
interesting.
pretty
Can
cool.
you send me the stuff
Yeah,
on that? I'm interested
absolutely.
in the wavelength reproduction because that was something that like people have been talking about the Antarctic thing, and they were like, "Hey, there could solar simulate." And I was thinking about the wavelength stuff. That'd be super interesting to check it out.
I think they're doing that with the
Yeah, I'll
molecular
drop it in
orbital
the purple
theory.
pill.
Where are you putting that?
Oh, so
Not sure if you
this,
heard me, but I'll drop it in the purple pill. What I'm trying to say.
so yeah, on Twitter, if you look in the space on the right, there's that little like chat bubble thing. If you click that, that'll bring like to the post, and beneath the post, you can add comments and people throw that. That's called the purple pill. There's also the nest and/or the whatever the else we call it, which is like the big thing up top, the jumbotron, and you can share any post there if you're a speaker by going to hit share and then hit share to space. So
Got
people,
it. I'm kind of learning this thing.
yeah, I figured. That's why I gave you the walkthrough. I was like, that comment thing is probably where you put it. So if you click that comment bubble, that'll bring you to all the posts people put there.
So you click the comment bubble and you scroll all the way. Do I have to refresh it?
No, but he also could have put it up in the jumbotron. Where'd you put it, man? I don't see it. Where'd you say you put it, man?
Hey, brother, I'm just now getting the link right, and I'm gonna drop it in the purple pill.
Okay.
And it's also a website, so it's a whole group of what they do, specialties as a company. But this is only one company of many. But this is the most informative I could find on wavelengths and all that. So. Yeah.
Nice.
Yo, hello. Sorry. So the space crashed out, and we are wrapping it up here now. Um, I don't know what happened. Essentially, everyone that was in web browser got crashed out, and so only people on the phones were still in the space. So we aren't going to be able to do a proper closing out. We talked about starting a new space up. They might still do a new space or maybe move over to the Discord server here. But yeah, well, I said, I don't know. I'm sorry for the quick cutoff, but hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. Check us out next Monday night for reading night and next Tuesday night for a presentation from Dr. Bennett with the part two of the Hildegard model. Really, really, really